Hey guys, today we're going to check out Seiko's new SRPD29 automatic mechanical diver's watch. And today we're going to talk about its features, its quirks, maybe we'll give it a Doug score. And I'm also going to compare it against my older second generation Seiko Orange Monster. But let's just jump right into the normal specs. This is a automatic mechanical watch, which means no batteries, no solar, nothing. There's no computers, nothing. It's just a mechanical watch with springs and gears and you clicky thumbs. And you shake it, the rotor powers the movement, and as the spring unwinds, it creates the time. So know that before you buy this. For all of you people who have subscribed, you already know this. This is nothing new. But it uses Seiko's 4R36 automatic mechanical movement. Beats at 21,600 BPH, uses 24 joules, has a 41-hour power reserve, and is accurate from -35 to +45 seconds per day. And accuracy varies due to many things, from how you use it, to temperature, to whatever, all that crazy stuff. The case, bezel, bracelet, and crown are all 316L stainless steel with a dark PVD coating. It's black, but it's like not super black. It's almost, it's black, but it's kind of got a gunmetal vibe to it. It does not capture the light quite like of true black PVD coating, but I think that's kind of cool. It's a little bit different, although I am worried about its scratch resistance, being that it does seem like it's a pretty light coating of their PVD situation. And everything is coated except for the case back, which I'll talk about that later. The bezel is a 120 click unidirectional bezel, and it's buttery smooth. I got a burp. I'm gonna pause it real quick. As I was saying, the bezel is a 120 click unidirectional bezel, which is pretty buttery smooth, not really ratchety, just a little clicky, but taut. It has a really good tactile feedback. And what else? There's not really much else to say about it. It has the 15-minute marker, and there's a little Lume pip, and it's basically almost the same as any other monster in how it functions. Okay, the glass is a Hardlex crystal, the typical Seiko Hardlex crystal, but there is that newfangled double bubble dome, which I actually like. Some people do not like that. My date is a little bit off, but that's my fault because it's actually probably transitioning into Saturday the 3rd right now, so I'm not going to mess with that. But I do love the day and date bubble. I think it's pretty cool. The dial is pretty plain, but the lume on the indices do have an off-white color. I don't know if you can see that, but it is a little bit off-white, more of a vintagey vibe, and the lume does glow blue along with the pip. You'll see that later when we do the check the lume situation, which is always good fun. I know you guys love the check the lume with the boys singing, and that is pretty cool. The chapter ring on this particular model is in typical Seiko fashion, not aligned. Can you see that? There you go. You see where the second hand right there? The chapter ring is not aligned with the 12 o'clock in this index, which I can actually fix. I got to take it apart, but it's going to be a pain in the butt to take it apart and fix it. But it is fixable. If I just move it a little bit to the side, I might be able to fix it. I don't know if there's like glue involved, but it is fixable. It just shouldn't be like that from the factory. It should be good from the factory, Seiko. There are ones available on eBay, and they all look like they have aligned chapter rings, so I'm wondering if they're not real. Only real ones are misaligned, guys, just letting you know. So the handset is different. I will talk about the differences between the handset versus the Orange Monster, but the hour hand is different from the older monsters, but I think the newer monsters all have that same hour hand and minute hand. The hour hand does not have that line going through, and the minute hand is more of a dagger situation. The seconds hand is kind of the same as what's on the current generation Summarize. So the bracelet, the dial is also, it's not pretty black. It's like a super dark brown. I don't know if you can see that, guys. It is a super dark brown, and there is a slight sunburst effect. I don't have my flashlight with me real quick, but I don't know if you can see that. It is a little very, very dark brown. There you can kind of see, the sunburst effect. It is very prominent in the sunlight and not in this camera situation, but it is there, super dark brown, and I think it matches perfectly fine with the whole vibe of this watch. Other than that, everything is pretty similar. You can't really see the ProSpex logo and the automatic divers thing because of the time, but I'm not going to change it right now because it is in the process of switching dates. This crown is stupid, and I'll talk about why I think this crown is stupid when I compare it against the monster, but I think this is dumb. I don't know why they did that. It's really ridiculous. The bracelet is classic Seiko monster bracelet, but there are differences from this one to the older monster. I'll tell you why. It does use solid links and a solid end link. There's a solid end link right there, unlike the previous monsters, which is just kind of like a half solid or a half link. A half link? Lord of the Rings, half link. And that's, oh, I didn't take off the plastic part of this one. I'll just leave it on. So it is a standard Seiko deployant buckle system, just pretty standard. They always use the same ones. Somewhat polished-ish butterfly thing here. Somewhat polished. It's not super polished. I don't know why they go through the trouble of even polishing it. They should just like make it like, I don't know. It's terrible. It's just a terrible, ugly hinge. I don't like it, but it is what it is, and we're used to that. As Seiko owners, we're used to that. Typical safety latch system, and there is a diver's extension right there. Now if you pull out, if you just kind of snap it out, you can extends. you can have an extra half inch. Now wouldn't that be awesome if we could just do that, just boop, extra half inch? That would make so many people much more happy. But you just kind of pop it back in there. Popping it back in there is kind of a pain. You got to get that little latch right there and then secure it. There you go. Bracelet is easily sized with the typical Seiko pin and collar setup. I think it's a pin and collar. I have not sized this bracelet, and I'm not going to, because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this watch. I may keep it, and I'm not sure if I even like it. I'll tell you why in the final thoughts what I think about this watch. There are drilled lugs, just like the previous monsters, drilled for their pleasure, and you know, fairly decent watch for the price. I don't know, it's kind of gnarly for the price. And I don't know, what do you guys think about it? So here's the case back, and I will show you the case back versus. Let's zoom in here. This video is all over the place, guys, but you know me, I'm just like that. There is the case back, like so. Come on, focus. There we go. And I will show you the differences between this one and the new monster. I do like this case back. It is very cool. Yeah. Here are more close-up shots of this watch. So spin it around here. Get that good. Look at that. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. The bracelet does have like shiny. The edges are shiny. Tops are like brushed, and the center parts of the links are shiny. The original bracelet is brushed and shiny, but it's. What do you guys think? It's pretty cool. I think it's not bad. And so let's check the measurements. All right, for the case, I got 40.5 millimeters, which is surprising because most people think it's a bigger watch. But the reason they think it's a bigger watch is because it's measured at the outside of the crown guard, which is 42.6 millimeters. The lug to lug is 48.4 millimeters versus 47.6 on the orange monster. So remember in my unboxing video where I said this watch somehow feels bigger? Well, this is why. It is a longer watch, so it felt bigger on my wrist. Whereas it's actually a smaller watch in actual diameter versus the orange monster. The orange monster is at the actual case part is about 42.5, so it is a slightly smaller watch in essence. So it does work very well. It got longer, but it got thinner. Anyway, the thickness is 13.2 millimeters, which is probably about the same as the Orange Monster. However, I can't really give a good indication of that as I have put a sapphire dome on it. Lug width is 20 millimeters, and we're back. So we're gonna, since I haven't sized it, I'm just gonna briefly put it on my wrist, like just kind of drape it over, just so you can get a good indication of what it looks like on a smaller wrist. So I have a 6.5-inch wrist there. And it does work really good. Can I go zoom out more? No. It does work really well on my wrist. And just put that like that. I feel like it's perfect, actually. The diver's watch isn't supposed to be tiny, in my opinion. It's supposed to be big and robust. So let's check out the differences between this watch and the Orange Monster. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Hello, my little friend. I love you so much. First glance, the difference between this new, oh, look at that, it just stands up like that. The difference between this new one and the older second generation Orange Monster, the bezel on this newer one is not, it's just printed on. You see, there's no like recessed markers, unlike the Orange Monster. These numbers and markers are all engraved in there and painted inside. So that is a major difference. I feel like these will just kind of come off at some point. The pip area is about the same, but the arrow around the pip is different. You can see the arrow around the pip is different. So you look at that design right there, and then look at that design. They are different. The sides of the case are also different. This has a much smaller well on the sides of the bezel and the case, and there are no grip points on each of the bezel blocks right there. As you can see right here on the Orange Monster, you see right there, there are much bigger well area, that little recessed well, and those grip points on the sides of the bezel. The case is actually also a little bit different. If you look at the lugs here, the lugs all come to a 3-point terminator here where it ends right there. It says 3 points. On the Orange Monster, it's a little bit more involved. There's a little bit more stuff going on there. See, it's got like a little notch edge right there, and which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. The bracelet, at first glance, you might think they're the same, but the new one has links that kind of go up. You see the U shape? They kind of form a U shape and they go up. Whereas the Orange Monster, they go down. They go down. They fire down. See, the Orange Monster's down with it. You got to kind of get up and go with this. That was terrible. I'm stupid. The Orange Monster, the second gen Orange Monster, and first gen probably has this single end link thing that just kind of ends there, and which is fine. It looks good. It doesn't look bad at all. It functions. It works well. To accommodate for the nice integrated end link, they had to increase the length of the lugs so that they could incorporate that, and I think that does look really good. I just don't think it was necessary. I just don't think it was necessary at all. Other than that, the bracelets are the same buckle, same safety mechanism, same crappy almost polished butterfly thing here, and the same diver's extension. So they are virtually the same in that aspect. I think the Orange Monster might have a slightly smaller thumb area right here, or just the depression, and that's about it. I can't really see anything else. They both have 4 micro adjustments, and they should have the same pin system there. That's about the same. Now the back of the Orange Monster is very shiny. It has that shiny case back, which is nice, but once I saw the new one, I just think this one's just a lot more grown up. It's just a lot more refined, and I do like that a lot. See, there you go. It's just, it looks better. To me, it looks better. It just looks more like it means business. This one was like not an afterthought. It just seems, it seems newer, it seems better, it seems like some thought was put into it, and I like that a lot. Now the crown situation, like I mentioned before, I think is stupid, because this actually makes it, I'm going to show the orange monster first. This is how it should be. There is a crown guard. That's what this thing is for. It's to protect the crown. There's a little bit of metal right there to protect the hits from sidewards, and you can actually get some protection from hits from above and maybe even below. Whereas this new one is stupid. There is no protection. This comes out for no reason. There's no reason to have this extra bit other than for aesthetic purposes, which I could actually deal without, Seiko. If you had omitted this and just made it like that, put the crown in there, it wouldn't look like such a freaking button. It looks like a button, looks like you're gonna click it for timing purposes, or making the bomb explode or whatever. I just think it would have been better if you didn't do that, and then you could list this watch as a 40.5 millimeter Seiko Monster, and people would be tripping. People would be, give me your credit card. No. They would be like, take my money. I said that wrong. So I think this is dumb. I think this is hecka dumb. And I don't know why they did that. That seems like just a mishap, an afterthought. And they thought that people would be like, that's cool, but it really isn't. Just look how much it just protrudes out there. The orange monster, it looks like it's part of it because it's guarded. This one just looks like it's a tumor. Okay, well, I think that's all the differences that I can see. Everything else seems, aside from, you know, obviously the dial and everything. Oh yeah, the hands. The hands. Look at the hour hand of the orange monster, and then look at the hour hand of the new monster. You can clearly see that they're different. You can clearly see that the minute hands are also different, and they are not. These watches aren't synced up, which is driving me crazy. The seconds hand of the orange monster does have that blunt end and slightly elongated triangle, the arrow in the front. So there are some differences. I'm actually thinking of putting the guts of this into this and this into this. And I'll have a black orange monster, and then I'll have a killer looking vintage black monster. Anyway, guys, let's check the Lume.
Check the Lume, check the Lume, make it glow. Check the Lume, use a light, make it glow. Check the Lume, check the Lume, check the Lume, check the Lume.
Alright guys, I have the orange monster, second gen on the left, the new monster with the blue Lume in the middle, and just for good measure, the coveted Patty Moss on the right with the blue and green Lume. So we're going to get a nice color array here, and I am going to start blasting away with this lighting here. I can never get the thing. There you go. I'm going to cover your face, and I'm going to blast away with the Lume, and then I'm actually going to turn off the light first, and then I'm going to blast away with the Lume. And we are going to jam on it like 1987. There you go. Turning on light now. Boom. There you go. So very, very interesting. The new Seiko monster in the middle, the Lume isn't that good. It's blue, but compared to the blue of the Patty Moss, it's just it's sucking. It's not doing such a good idea. It's not doing such a good idea. It's not doing such a good job. The orange monster on the left, still blowing it away after all these years. I mean, it's okay. The new monster in the middle is okay. The Lume does glow very well. But the Patty Moss is kicking its ass. Both of these older watches are subtly kicking its ass. Wow. That is just amazing. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer here, guys. That is just amazing. Look at that. You can clearly see that the Patty Moss, the blue of the Patty Moss is just brighter. And yeah, this new monster is the one that is going to fail the first. It is going to go darker first. That is unfortunate. but it's still not very bad. It's still really good compared to a lot of other watches. It's still really good. And a blue lume is hard to make good. Let's just give it another burst of light just so we can admire it once again. And giggity, there you go. I love how it looks green in this camera lighting. But anyway, let's turn on the lights back again and check out the final thoughts with the boys. Okay, my final thoughts on this 200 meter ISO certified Seiko Black Monster new watch from Seiko. I'm not gonna bull crap you guys. I like to speak the truth. I like this watch, but I do not currently love it. It, to me, doesn't quite have the soul of my second generation Monster. It just doesn't feel the same. And this thing has a lot. It's a good watch. It's great. It looks beautiful. And I think a lot of you will love it. But just for me and for the price, I just don't know if I could justify telling you guys that you should get it. And, you know, it does look amazing. I feel like it's trying too hard. I feel like it's screaming, love me, because everyone else is saying to do it. But not me. I am not a follower. I lead. I'm a leader. Granted, I'm a leader to a turtle and a dinosaur puppet, but still a leader nonetheless, and I will not be advising you to get this watch unless you really, really want it, especially for the price. If you can afford it and you want it, by all means, get it. It is a disgustingly sick piece. I think it is pretty darn beautiful and different, and I love it the way it looks, but the price, I can't justify the price and the fact that I just don't feel anything for it. I like to feel things for watches. I'm one of those hippie watch guys that likes to build an emotional attachment to his watches, where I just don't have that with this watch. It's just like a hot girl that's dead inside, you know. There's nothing going on. But that might change as I put different straps on it. I might grow to love it. It could happen. That has happened to me in the past, but as it stands right now, I just don't feel it. I feel that you could spend your money elsewhere on better things, like another Monster or a new Samurai, or just go on have a vacation and do something awesome in like Malaysia or something. I mean, well, maybe not Malaysia, China. Yeah, China. Why not China? China's a great place to visit. So now let's see what the boys have to say about it.
Oh man, you really drank the Haterade today, huh? You drank the blue Haterade that's gonna turn your poop green, and the grape Haterade and all kinds of Haterade because you just hated on that watch, right? You hating on it. Well, let me give you my comment, Turtle. I freaking love it. Okay, I think it's pretty badass. Did.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I guess what he said.
Yeah, what's up with you, Ted? Man, you just being such a mopester lately. What's going on?
I'm tired. I'm bored. I saw your hand, Curtis. I saw your hand. I'm tired. I'm bored. I've seen the entire internet.
It's not possible to see the entire internet.
Well, it is.
But because there's always new stuff coming up every day.
Yeah, but it's always new dumb stuff.
That's the same stuff as the old dumb stuff,
but the same
and new, but old. You know, I actually understood exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It sounds about right.
Okay, okay. Well, guys, Ted, I hope you feel better. Maybe we can put you on some medication or something. And to the viewers, thank you for watching Minute Kebab.
May your peanut be happy, and thanks for watching. Yeah.